Respected parents and the dearest students, Assalamu alaikum. This is me, Behroz Ahmed Khan, and I am here from the YouTube channel of Guards Public School 2. Dear students, we have been studying computer science for class 9 and we have delivered 7 lectures, and this is our lecture number 8. But before starting lecture number 8, I have to make you all acknowledge about the new book of computer science. As you all know that Government of Sindh has implemented a new book for computer science that has been revised with a whole new syllabus contents. So as I have told you all in my past message that all the contents of the past book have been transformed in a whole new book, and in this book the maximum syllabus has been changed. So as we have studied the 7 lectures that was related to introduction to computer has now been changed into the fundamentals of computer. That is the chapter number 1 of the new book. So we are not going to cover these contents again, but you have to study the lecture number 1 till lecture number 7 as a part of your new book. It will be included in your chapter Fundamentals of Computer, and the Fundamentals of Computer is a lengthy chapter. It is containing a lot of contents. So we are going to start our lecture number 8 from the new book. After all the discussed topics, we are going to start the topics from the new book. So we have covered lecture 1 to lecture 7, and that is connected to your Fundamentals of Computer, the first chapter of the new book. And now we are going to study the remaining content of the new book, the chapter number 1, Fundamentals of Computer. So it is our lecture number 8, and you can see that these are the contents of the new book that are chapter number 1 till 7. Number 1, Fundamentals of Computer. Number 2, Fundamentals of Operating System. Number 3, Office Automation, Data Communication and Computer Hardware, Computer Security and Ethics, Web Development, Introduction to Database System. So you can see that the mainly all the contents have been transformed or changed. You can see that Fundamentals of Computer, basically Fundamentals of Computer is containing the combination of 3 or 4 chapters: hardware, software, components of computer, and the introduction of computer from the past book. And then the operating system basically from was included in chapter number 7 as chapter number 7 in the past book, but now it has been chapter number 2, and it is also containing the whole new modern topics. After that, Office Automation is a whole new chapter. Data Communication and Computer Networks is included as a new chapter. Computer Security and Ethics, it is also a whole new introduction, as well as a Web Development and Introduction to Database System. All the topics are whole new introduction to this book. So we are going to cover 3 chapters in our first term and the remaining 4 chapters in the second term. And now we are going to start lecture number 8. So lecture number 8 starts with the artificial intelligence. So what is artificial intelligence? Basically, artificial intelligence is based on the human intelligence in machines. Basically, forming the human intelligence in the machines that can easily mimic, execute tasks from simple to more complex operations. Basically, they try to think like human, act like human. They do not depend on the decision making of the human, but they can take their own decisions based on their artificial intelligence. The term AI also referred to any machine that display qualities associated with the human brain, such as learning, reasoning, and problem solving. Basically, these are the basically qualities of human brain, that it learns, it also knows the reasoning, and it can also solve problems. A machine without AI, artificial intelligence, cannot take the decision by their own. They cannot learn something, or they cannot make reasoning on something like that. But when you are depending on the artificial intelligence, so artificial intelligence means the machines that are designed uh, for learning, reasoning, and problem solving. Then what are robots? So basically, you all know about the robots. Robots are the machines that are similar to human in many cases, or they can be other in other shape also, but they can be based on the artificial intelligence. They are capable of carrying out a complex series of actions automatically. They can be controlled by a computer or any other external device, laptop or any smartphone, or even your watch or anything else that is connected to them. They can deal with designing, creating, and programming. Basically, they are designed for complex tasks that cannot be done by the human easily. So these tasks are being concerned with these robots who perform it easily. Uh, uh, ex- uh, Except that they are enhanced by taking sensory feedback and processing information. Then we'll move towards wireless communication. Basically, wireless communication has become essential in our lives. In the past era, we were depending on the wired communication. All the things are all the data is transferred through wires. Wires were essentially needed, but nowadays the wireless communication has become very much necessary. You can Nowadays you can use a mouse, keyboard, or other devices without wireless devices, except that the internet connection we were having through cables, but nowadays we are having the wireless connections. Wireless communication technology transmit information using electromagnetic waves like IR, infrared, that was used in the mobiles in past times, RF radio frequency, satellite, etc. The GPS system and the Wi-Fi or and data communication, they are the wireless systems. Global positioning system GPS, basically I was talking about, is now used to find real-time location of people and objects, and it is a wireless system, totally wireless system, and it is related to the satellites, connected to the satellites. Now, what is virtual reality? Virtual reality is an artificial environment that is created with software and presented to the user in a way that can be used for the simulation of a real environment. The user feel it as a real environment. Basically, virtual reality, you can define it in a simpler way, that it present like that it seems to be a real environment for training and education. The people take it as a reality, or they cannot or they do not take it as a uh, as an means not a reality, but they thinks about it as a reality, and they enjoy it in a real manner. So basically, this is virtual reality. It is an artificial environment. Now we are talking about the careers in IT. So what are the careers in IT? You can have basically the an IT person who can have different careers in IT, or the person who is studying computer science, or the person who wants to select his field as a computer in IT, so in information technology. So what kind of careers he can join? So there is software engineer. You can take your field as a software engineer, where you can play with the software. Play means you can enjoy making softwares, manipulating softwares, programming, and doing changes in the debugging basically, and lots of things related to the softwares. Network administrator means who is basically managing the network portfolio, who is managing the internet service, or the network service of connecting different computers in a organization, or in society. Web designer, who is capable of designing websites of different types. Graphic designer is capable of designing different sort of graphics using different softwares and computer, or you can also be a computer science or IT teacher. Now the topic is computer hardware. So basically computer hardware is a collective term, you can say. Basically hardware is collective term. Hardware is not a single or particular thing, but it is a collective term. It includes all the physical devices connected to a computer. These physical devices include the CPU, monitor, mouse, keyboard, the wires inside the CPU box, RAM, ROM, fan, everything that is included in the CPU box, that is placed in the CPU box. Sound card, graphic card, VGA, memory, motherboard, everything that is included in the CPU box is that is physical. Sorry, that is physical. That is physical. You can see it, you can touch it, you can feel it. So this is physical, and the physical things are called hardware. And now system unit. What is system unit? So basically a system unit is a part of computer that contains the primary devices. Primary devices means the RAM, ROM, and motherboard. The system unit perform operations and produce result for complex calculation. It includes motherboard, CPU, RAM, and other components, as well as the case in which these devices are enclosed. Basically it contains these devices. Now motherboard. What is motherboard? Basically motherboard is a rectangular card containing the circuitry. It includes the following general components: microprocessor, slots, ports, buses, RAM, ROM, and other electronic components, for example resistor, capacitors, diodes, transistors, jumpers, etc. Now what is microprocessor? So microprocessor is the brain of computer. Basically microprocessor is the main component, brain of computer. Microprocessor is a silicon chip containing millions of tiny transistors. These transistors manipulate data. Microprocessor perform all calculations necessary to make the computer work. The calculations are performed at very high speed and accuracy. Microprocessor is made up of silicon. Basically silicon is made from sand particles. Okay, so this is called microprocessors, that is made up of silicon. Now buses. What are the buses? Buses are basically the wires, paths, you can say paths, the way where the data travels, or the path, or you can say it as wires, basically electric wires on which data is sent and received by different components. They are just like roads. The different transportation travels on the road far and wide, from here and there. All roads connect different places. Buses converts all the part of the computer to each other. They also connect all internal components on the motherboard. Now there are three types of buses. Control bus carries command between different components to control all activities of a computer. Basically it is responsible of controlling all the activities going on in a computer system. It is connected to all the components of the computer. Data bus basically carries out the data between the processor, memory, and other components. The data travel through the data bus. And then address bus carries the address of the data but not the data. Basically it access the address of the data, so you can find out your data easily, but it does not travel the data. The address bus is used to specify memory location to be used by Microprocessor for specific operation. Means whenever you need to access a specific position, specific data, so first you have to access the address of the data. So this address has been accessed by address bus. Okay, so we have discussed today the hardware, software, the control bus, and data bus, and all the buses, three different types of buses. So here is your home task. You have to explain in your own words the different careers in IT that are discussed in your textbook. You can write here in your own words the different careers in IT and define the following. Now buses and types: system unit, motherboard, microprocessor, artificial intelligence, robots, and virtual reality. Okay, so you have to write this the answers to these questions in your book, in your copy, computer copy. And we'll see you inshallah in the next lecture, that is lecture number 9. Till then, take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz. Thank you.